Yes, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Chopping It Up with Charms. I'm back here again. I've been away. I'm so sorry. I've tried, but it's just been what it is. And we're back here after a transfer window that wasn't as busy as I thought it was going to be. I thought we needed some bits, to be honest. I think most Chelsea fans think we need to go out there and spend on a couple of different positions, particularly at left back, in goal, and up top. But yeah, before we get into today's video, just kind of going over that transfer market again, just giving a little bit of my perspective on the ins and the outs, chat a little bit about Brighton. But then, yeah, straight into it. Ins. Matthias Amagu. That's pretty much it when it comes to the ins. We've only really had him, obviously recalling Trevor Chalobah from loan and whatnot. But in terms of actually making a purchase, it's only been Matthias Amagu. He's a good player from what I've seen. He seems like a very technical centre mid, very good at dribbling. He seems confident on the shot as well. He seems like the kind of player that we've had in the last year or whatnot. You know, he's got that kind of Kinnan, Dewsbury Hall, Conor Gallagher kind of vibe to him. But I think that he is a bit more of a skilled dribbler than the two of those, to be honest. Probably a little bit less defensively sound from what I've seen. But on the ball, he seems to be very, very calm, very good character and profile. My only concern with it is it screams Cesare Casadei. It screams like it's the type of signing that we've had in the club and we just haven't used. You know, Casadei was a player that I was really high on. I thought we were going to really get a lot from him. But he's in and out, you know, he's gone already to Reno for 13 million. So to essentially have been replaced without any game time, not sure what that's all about personally, but yeah, I was quite confused by this transfer because I thought we were going to go all out for a left back. I think that's what we need. I think that's what most people can agree we need because we've got Cucurella there, and apart from that, we'd be playing Malo Gusto on a wing swap, which, you'd be out of position. So I don't understand the logic behind that, but it is what it is. I just figured with so many class strikers on the market that we would have attempted to go for one of them. I know that we did try to hijack the Matthias Tell deal, but I feel like we left that too little too late. Apparently we tried to intercept it while he was at the airport in North London, but once again, you got to do your business earlier than that. You got to let the players know that you're interested in them. And apparently, although we were linked with Tell, the teams that were really heavily linked to him were Arsenal and United, which he wanted to move to instead of Spurs. But they've come to an agreement, and it is what it is. I just looked at the market. I saw a player like John Duran move. I saw a player like Omar Marmoush move. I figured that we could have thrown our name into the hat substantially more for them. I mean, John Duran we were a little bit more involved with, but I didn't hear anything with us and Omar Marmoush. I thought that would have been a good player to go out there and try and poach. Obviously, you got players like Benjamin Sesko on the horizon, who's a really, really fantastic player. The other one being Mateus Cunha from Wolves. Obviously, at this point in the season, it'd be really hard to take a player like that off of him, but getting those conversations started for the summer is an interesting proposition. But from what I've been able to dig out and find out in my research post-vid, is that it seems to me that Chelsea are going all out for Liam Delap. It seems like it's been the key interest. It's what all the sources inside of the club have been saying, is that we want to go for a Liam Delap. And for me, I don't know if that's the perfect profile that we should be going for, because it just stinks of Evan Ferguson. It stinks of 10 to 15 goals in a season and just a bit of mediocrity. And that's not really what I'm after in a striker. I want a proven world-class striker, and maybe Benjamin Sesko's a stretch, maybe Marmoush is a stretch, but I think that the other ones, Mateus Cunha and John Duran, I think that they've proven their quality over the last season, and I think that they proved that they could be a player to play up top at a club the size and importance of Chelsea in the English football pyramid. I really do, but once again, it's just going to be another wait until the summer for a striker. And then I can't see Duran moving, so the only person left would be Sesko, who's the only out-and-out striker left on that list. Now, the outs that we had is probably where the bulk of the conversation should be. Axel Disasi has gone to Aston Villa on a loan. They've agreed to pick up half his wages. Picking up his full wages, which I'm happy with because it gets to clear a little bit more space on the books. And, you know, it's an interesting thing to say as a Chelsea fan, but I think that we've got our centre-backs figured out to some degree. I mean, when they're fully fit, I think Colwill and Fofana play really well off of each other. I also think Trevor Chalobah plays really well off of Tosin. Obviously, Colwill had that not amazing game the other day against Manchester City, where the eyes were a little bit all over the gaff, but it is what it is. You know, I still like Chalobah there, regardless of whether it's with Tosin or with Colwill. I just feel like maybe the chemistry is a little bit more there with Big Toss, but yeah, I think that Colwill needs to keep his eye on the ball more, and I'm happy that Disasi is out of the way for the minute, and then hopefully make a permanent transfer later on. The other sale that I mentioned briefly earlier was that €15 million sale of Cesare Casadei to Torino. I don't understand it, as I said. It seems like Maresca froze him out from early, even though he had worked with him before. Maybe he just didn't think there was a player in there. I did. Maresca probably knows ball a little bit better than I do. But yeah, I just thought there was a bit more of a player in Cesare Casadei than we got out of him, to be honest. Renato Vega's an interesting one because he's a left-back that we let go, so he could play centre-back at Juve. He is only on loan. And, you know, we only did let him go so he can go get his game time in a favoured position. Hopefully he does come back a left-sided centre-back. That would be nice. But I wish he just stuck to his roots as a left-back. It's something that we need. And I don't understand why we hemorrhaged all of our left-backs. Because the next two people I'm about to speak about are both that. Ben Chilwell, yeah, fair enough. The fitness levels might not have been there. He's someone that's been frozen out of the squad for quite a while now, on a ridiculous 190 grand a week wage, so it's good to see that he's left, and Crystal Palace going to be picking half of that bill up. Just kind of frees up our books a little bit once again, gets a player back playing, and hopefully by the summer he would have put up a couple of good enough performances that Palace might want to replace Tyreek Mitchell. They might want to go out there and make a full buy for him. If not, I'm sure there will be some other clubs internationally that would be interested in a player like Ben Chilwell. We've seen how the Italian clubs have been picking up a lot of English players at the minute. So it could be a good move for him there, but I think it is time for him to move on from Chelsea. I mean, I was always open to the idea of him kicking back on and having a renaissance period with us, but it just doesn't seem like it's going to happen. The other one is Caleb Wiley, who is really interesting actually, because he was brought back in from loan. He was a lot on loan at Strasbourg, had been having a good season. Got called back in, I figured, to cover the damage of Renato Vega when he were to leave, but he got sent straight back out to Watford. And thinking about it now, I can understand maybe wanting to get him a little bit more physical, having him play under a little bit more physicality in the English pyramid. Obviously, it is a little bit more rough and tumble than that French league, so it's probably to ruffle his feathers a little bit, getting used to what it's like back home. And then, yeah, get him into the league next season, because Caleb Wiley is definitely a player who I'll be looking at going forward. A very, very interesting young talent. Very, very cold. Big fan of his. Joao Felix looks good, doesn't he? Jesus Christ, man. Where was that, bro? I love Joao Felix, man. It's just a shame that he can't ever do it when he's at the bridge. I mean, listen, I liked him the first time round. This second time round, he's been a lot quieter than I might have expected. Once again, it is what it is, though. He's a good player. He's just been he's tread under his form, and I'm happy for him. You know, I think the Italian league is the type of league, once again, a little similar to how I was talking about with the French, a little bit less physical than the English league. You can kind of rely on your flair a little bit more, perch on that flair a little bit more, and I feel like he's got the capability to do that, and I'm happy for him. You know, seeing him have a great goal in his debut. I hope there's more to come, and I hope that we can eventually get a good 60 million out. Oh, we won't, but I hope we can get a good sale out of him eventually, whether it is to AC Milan or any other clubs that he's twerking for. Not getting rid of Nkunku's a little bit of a frustration, especially with, you know, them wanting, with Bayern Munich wanting him and them owning Matisse Tel. It seemed like there was going to be a deal in there, But there wasn't, so it is what it is. We're probably going to have the best superstar that's sat on a bench for a full season there for another year. I think he's a great player, but obviously brought in at another time that we didn't need him. Because we really had Cole Palmer in the wing, who we didn't realise was going to turn into the Cole Palmer that he is. That's pretty much everything for today's video. The only other thing is, I think Chelsea are going to slap Brighton later today. To be honest, I think that we're going to go give them hell. We got them twice in a row, 2 Fridays in a row, 2 8 o'clocks in a row. I think that we're going to turn the tide twice. I think we're going to smack them, come back a week later and smack them again. I think that we need an FA Cup. At least we need to progress far in there to say we've had a decent season. And I think in the Premier League, we need every point we can get. So that's been my recap of this overall transfer window. I'm not best pleased. I'll give it a C. I'll go watch a video me and Dan made on Tuesday about that. But till then, like and subscribe. God bless. Take care of yourself, child. I'm God.